Welcome to a new month of the year. It is August, and if you feel like you at a point where you're starting over financially, there are a few things you need to know so that you can hopefully reach financial peace. And I'm going to share everything today, which I'm going to mix it up with my monthly reset. So the first thing that you need to understand is your budget. And I recommend using the zero-based budget, and I'm going to show you what I mean shortly as I share the screen and show you my budget for July. The second thing that you need to be aware of in your journey of starting over is your debt. How much have you paid so far? How much do you owe? Who do you owe? Your interest rates and all of that. And I'm going to show you on my spreadsheet as well. What do I mean? And the third thing that you need to be aware of is your savings and your investments. Yes, saving and investing is both important, but it is not the same thing. I'm going to do a completely different video explaining the two, but I do have a reel on Instagram as well if you want to have a look at that. But those are the three things. If you are starting over financially, your budget, I recommend the zero-based budget, your debt, I'm using the avalanche method, and your savings and investments. So now let's get into the numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at now is my budget. So what I mean by the zero-based budget, I mean when you take your income and you subtract your expenses, you should have zero. So you shouldn't have money lying around. When I say zero, I don't mean that you have just spent all your money. I mean you have intentionally put some money away according to your goals. So there's money that could be miscellaneous, there's money that could be to entertainment, there's money that could be going to savings, investing, all of that. So you didn't really just spend it all, and if you did spend some of the money, you planned it. If you spend some money in entertainment, it was part of the plan anyways. So I'm going to show you what I mean so that we can have an understanding. So firstly, what you're looking at is the income we received. So my household income in the month of July. So if I go all the way to this side, we had actually received the amount of 59,000 in total. So now I'm going to pop in how much we actually spent compared to how much we received. So first we've got giving, which we spent 1,500. Then we've got rent, which we spent 14,300. This is including utilities. Then we've got Wi-Fi, which is 400, and then 970, 870, 150, 1,500, 1,000. Okay, and then we go into our subscriptions, which is 100 for CapCut. Shopify we spent 500 Rand. Always round up if there's some sense. So if Shopify was 498 cents or 498 Rand and 70 cents or something like that, I would just round it up to 500 Rand. Then we've got Tala for 440. Then we've got school for 380. And then 150 for Canva. Apple is 230. Gym 700, which I'm so proud of us. We've been so consistent at the gym since the month of May. So that is one of my major goals this year. If you missed my yearly reset at the beginning of this year, my main goals after I did my category wheel where we look at each category in our lives and we rate ourselves, my health was the one that I really needed to work on. So yeah, I'm so proud of us. Netflix 100, Prime is 59 Rand. Personal loan. So this one is what we are currently focusing on to get rid of. The quicker you get rid of your debt, the more wealth you are able to build. So something very annoying about debt is that it holds you back from building wealth. So yeah, our mission is to pay off our debt, and yes, it sucks right now, but it is going to help us with our bigger goals, which is to build wealth. So we paid a total of 17,948. I also have a video dedicated to it. Extra loan payments, so we'll see what's left. Groceries was high last month, which was 5,409 Rand. Transport was 1,000. Skylar was 750. She had an excursion and a lot of things were going on. School stuff, as you can see, we had to also buy school bags for her and things like that. So there's a lot going on with Skylar. She's kind of our high spender in this household right now. And then there is a career guide, which was 2,000, and allowance was 800. Okay, so now what you need to do is to allocate this category here, this description. Is it a need? Is it a want? Is it a saving? Is it an investment? Is it a debt? And then it's going to auto populate up here and tell me how much I've spent and how much I have left. And then I'll be able to see what I spent on my needs versus my wants. So what I usually say is, with your needs, try and spend 50% of your income or less. So if I use my calculator, so here where there is blue color font, you can type on that. Okay, so if I take income, which was 59, and I divide it by 2, so that is 50%, or you can go times 50%, then my needs should be 29,500. And then my wants, so my wants should be 20% or less. So again, if I take 59 times it by 20%, it should be 11,800 or less. It would be nice if it's less, of course. And then debt should be 10% or less, because again, we're trying to get rid of that as much as possible. Now, if it's not 10%, don't worry. Mine is not 10%, it's higher than that. But it's just a framework for you to target and target yourself to get to the point where out of the income that you receive, 10% only goes to debt, not more than that, because then it means most of your money is just going to make the bank rich or whoever you owe. Okay, so debt, so we take 59 again times 10%, which is 5,900. I already know that I spent way more than that. And when savings to investment, also 20%, so that would be the 11,800, same as wants. So in total, you should see under budget, it says 59,000. Okay, so now let's see how much we actually spent. So if I go back here to the transaction log, and this spreadsheet is available in the FLA if you're in the FLA, and if you're not in the FLA, you can also get the spreadsheet if you sign up for my blueprint to financial freedom. So that is a class of mine that is full of everything about financial freedom. It is the blueprint to financial freedom. I'm going to show you a screenshot over here of how it looks. Okay, so under giving, that is a need to. I hope you have a drink. I don't know if this video is going to be long. Under rent is also a need. Under Wi-Fi is also a need. Car insurance, a need. Funeral cover, a need. Retirement is saving and investing. And then that's saving and investing. CapCut is a need just because it's part of my business. Shopify is a need, also part of my business. School is a need. As you can see, I spent a lot of money on needs, which is fine. It's just fine. Apple Pill is a need. Gym, I'm going to say it's a want. At the beginning, it was a need, but I think the habit of working out is now in me. So even if I couldn't pay my gym membership, I would still work out. I would still, do physical activities for my body. But yeah, I'm going to leave it as a want now from this month. But I'm still going to go to the gym. Netflix is also a want. Prime is also a want. These are things you're going to be fine without. Those are wants. Personal loan is a debt. Extra is a debt. Groceries are needs, but we just need to drop that. That's a bit too high. But a lot was happening. In the month of July. So transport is a need. Scala is a need. School stuff. Were they a need? Yes, they were a need. They were once off, but they were a need. Savings, I'm just going to go into savings and investing. Career guy is a need. I need to send your orders. And allowance is a want. Okay, so now we've put everything in. So now that you know, okay, all the needs, I've classified what are my needs, I've classified what are my wants. I've also got some savings in there, which is good. And now let's have a look and see how much you've spent overall and how much you're left with. So if I go here, down here, it says to me, I have actually spent 56,586. The difference is around 2,400. And then here it's going to show you that you budgeted 59, your income was 59, you spent 56, and what you left with is 2,400. So I don't know if you watched last month's reset where what was left was 17,000, and I rolled it over to be the income for this month, which was July. So now we're in August, but I'm talking about July. Talking about July. And it's showing that I'm saving 12% of the income, which is less than what we had wanted to save. So as you can see here, the goal is to save 11,800, but we saved 7,500. Debt is super high at 30%, but we already know why. It's because of the journey we are in right now. So like I said, these over here, this 50, 20, 20, 10 method is just a framework. So once you know, okay, 50% of your income, which is, wow, 50% of our income is going to needs, which is amazing. 50% of my income is going to need, 2% is going to wants, which is good. 30% is going to debt, which is high. So the goal, as you can see, it's aligned with my vision board, with my journals, where I'm just like manifesting to be debt free, where I'm just writing that I'm debt free. I've got pictures of someone celebrating that they're debt free. So my spending is aligned with that, with what I'm trying to achieve, even though it is not aligned with the framework. The framework is just a guideline to help me. But my investing is also less than I want. So as soon as we get rid of this debt, and because we don't have a wants issue, we're not spending too much money on things we don't need. Once we get rid of debt, this 17,000 could just be going into saving and investing. So now this 2,400 Rand, what we're probably going to do with it is put it into our debt. So 2,414. So now if we go back, now we're on zero. And this is what I meant when I said a zero-based budget means you planned for all your money, and after the month ended, you're left with zero because even the extra money, you gave it a reason. So last month, the money we had left, we rolled it over to the next month as a income. So this month, we are going to pay off debt with it. So as you can see, zero cash flow, and I spent 100% of the income, but I didn't just spend everything. I saved some of it, I paid off debt with some of it, and then I spent on needs and wants. Okay, so once you have an understanding of your budget, of your expenses, and all your categories, your needs and your wants, then you have to look at your debt if you have debt. So let's get into that now. Okay, so now we're looking at debt. So it's usually at the bottom. Let me just drag it up a little bit. There it is. I'm going to make it a little bit big just so you guys can see well. Okay, so these are the two debts we are currently tackling. Just want to zoom it out for you. Okay, these are the two debts we are currently tackling, and as you can see over here, I'm using the avalanche method. So I'm tackling the debts with the highest interest rate first. So if you want to learn more about how to get out of debt, how to build wealth, and how to understand your budget, and maybe on a debt-free journey, I have it in my blueprint to financial freedom. So I'll have that linked below. But avalanche method basically means the debt with the highest interest. So if you look at the two debts, the one that is highlighted gold is currently the one we are tackling because of that high interest over here. So if I had to change that to snowball, it will still stay on the gold method because it is the lowest debt. But yeah, the focus is on avalanche right now, which clearly is this one over here. The interest is 28%, so high, but we have worked so hard with my husband on this debt. So I'm really proud of us. We started the year with 81,100. I don't know if you've been following along our debt-free journey. I think I'll have the playlist probably linked somewhere up here so that you can see. And so far this year, we have paid 61,300 Rand. And the current balance is 19,800, but we just have that 2,400 that we're going to roll over into the debt now. So I'll pay that sometime today. This is the minimum payment. We have 24% to go to pay off this debt. It is the first priority, and the interest according to how much we pay as a minimum payment is around 470 Rand, which means this 1,800 Rand is what we end up paying to the actual principal of the debt, which is amazing. We've came such a long way. The interest used to be the other way around, where the interest is 1,800 and the 470 is what goes to the 81,000, the actual balance, which made the debt not move at all. So you have to be aware of these figures, all these figures over here. Again, if you want the spreadsheet, it's available in the blueprint. In my shop, I've got a different spreadsheet. Okay, so down over here, I've just been tracking all the payments that we have been making. So I'm going to add also the 2,400 Rand payment once I make that payment. And I'm probably going to record a quick video outside. It's been very cold, so I haven't been outside. But I will do a debt-free update video updating you of me making that payment. Okay, so that is basically it when it comes to debt. So the last tab over here is the 100 envelope challenge, which, goodness me, I actually haven't been tracking it as much as I should be. I'm using my app. Currently, I have an app for the saving challenges. It's going to be launching in September sometime, and I'll keep you updated on that. But I just want to update this one as well. So where is my binder? Okay, I've got my binder over here, but I also have some cash. Yes, I've got some cash. Oops, should not have done that. I've got some cash that I need to stuff. So the total amount of cash that I have, I actually have more cash here. So this is the binder where I usually put some cash, and I don't think this will be enough. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place when it comes to my binder because I've just been so busy with making so many orders that I haven't been cash stuffing my money. So I'm trying to fill up this binder. When you fill it up, you would have saved 50,500 Rand. It is called the 100 envelope savings challenge, and it starts at 10 Rand and goes all the way to 1,000 Rand. And when you reach 1,000 Rand, you would have saved 50,500. So I want to do this. I want to complete it. I've done it before, and I want to do it for our daughter's school fees so that we don't have to use our bonus or our savings. You know, this could be dedicated to Skylar's school fees in January. So we're just really pushing really hard to do so while we are tackling debt. It's possible to save while paying off debt as long as you have a game plan and a system. And this is our system. Okay, so here it says I have stuffed 14 envelopes. So I am now on envelope 240 actually. So another 10 envelopes on top of that. So I'm just going to tick those. True. This is why I don't use Excel a lot. I don't know why when I'm ticking this box I have to go true, but to untick it I can just click on it. It's so weird. But anyways, it's fine. If you're Excel guru, let me know what am I doing wrong there. So in total, it says I have saved a total of 3,000 Rand. So if I minus these two, yep, so as you can see, it updates over here. So basically, we have saved up until 240 Rand. So I have cash over here. So let's see if we can save 250, 260. This is the cash that I have. So I'm just going to quickly count it. I'm going to put all the hundreds aside. I'm going to record a cash stuffing video for Instagram to cash stuff this binder. So you'll see it there as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 400 Rand here. And then I've got some 50s. I've got 150 and another 50. So another 100 Rand. And then I've got a lot of 10s. Who remembers my 10 Rand saving challenge? This would be so amazing to go on to that. I think I'll bring those back next year. That is how Nomazdiary was basically born, from my 10 Rand saving challenges, because I was so broke and I could only save 10 Rand. And it started from there. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. If I count correctly, this is 120 Rand. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Whoa, it is 120. So plus 120. So this is 620 Rand. So if I subtract 250, we left with 370. So if I put this 2 and this 50 Rand aside, and then I subtract another 260, we are left with 110. So now I take the 2, 50, and 10. So 260. So now we're left with 110 Rand worth of 10 Rands. So I'm going to tick these 2 boxes, and now we would have saved 3,510. Okay, so I need to put that in here, put this in this binder, put these 10 Rands over here. And I think I'll have more cash tomorrow actually, so I'll probably stuff a little bit more envelopes. So I'm going to cash stuff these in my short video, so you watch it on a YouTube short or Instagram or whatever, but you already know that I've saved 3,500, and this is how basically it looks. I think we left with 3 binders. No, we are left with 3 binders, I know for sure. 2 gold binders and 1 mint. Mint looks like mine over here, and you know how gold looks. There's another one, and this is when I started. So even if I don't finish it, that's me being negative. I don't want to be negative because I want to finish it. But even if whatever is there, let's say for example, by January or February, because that's when we have to pay off the school fees, we have saved 35,000 or something like that. That's going to be so helpful, you know. So it's better than nothing, for sure. Okay, so those are saving challenges. So another thing in your savings category is your investments. Try and make your investments automated. So whether it's through a debit order, if you are my client, you already know we've set up a debit order and then it comes off like a bill, but it is your wealth. You are building your wealth, but it comes off like a bill. So it's something that you know that is done. Yeah, so try and automate it. And another saving update is on my Christmas savings. So my goal is to save 12,000 this year on Christmas. I'm using my FLA stockfile, so my Financial Literacy Academy ladies, we started a stockfile and we save monthly, so I save 1,000 Rand a month. So that means by this time I have saved 7,000. And another goal is my emergency fund. So in my emergency fund, the goal is to save 40,000 by the end of this year, and I think we are currently sitting on 20,000. So I'm going to double check that. So my emergency fund, I save it in a separate manner. So when I get paid, a portion of that already comes off before I get my paycheck. So it's like saved somewhere where it's kind of like an investment, but it's accessible. So I just need to double check that, and I can only check it next week, but I think it's now on 20, which is amazing. And then lastly, I'm saving for a new camera. Right now I'm recording with my cell phone, so hopefully it's got good quality. I think it does, because I'm using 4K. It takes up a lot of space, but I want a new camera so that I can vlog my journey of becoming, more healthy and just basically all of that. So for that one, I'm using these saving challenges. This is the 20k saving challenges. I think we're left with only pink. So if you want them, there's only pink color. And so far in these challenges, we finished challenge number 1. And when you finish challenge number 1, you save 3,900. So 3,900 plus, we have saved all of these ones that I've colored in. The money is over here, of course. So I'm just going to add it up. So plus 1,100 plus 900 plus 800 plus 700 plus 600 plus 500 plus 400 plus 300 and then 200. So in total, we've saved 9,400 in this binder. I haven't been able to add anything actually this month. Lots of the money that we received went to our debt. We really want to tackle it as aggressive as possible, so that we can obviously end up growing here. But I think this month I'm going to give it a fair chance and put at least another 2,000 here, and then tackle the debt. So you will see what will happen there. The camera that I want, I think, is 15,000 or 13, but I'm going to budget 15. So if I take 15,000 minus 9,400 that we have saved so far, it is 5,600 to go on that savings goal. So those are my savings goals. Please write down your goals and stay on track. Don't have a random savings and you don't know what you're saving for. If you have sinking funds, give it a name. So for me, it is Christmas, it is school fees, it is my camera, and our emergency fund. Those are the sinking funds. 4 sinking funds I'm focusing on. You don't have to have 10, 7 sinking funds, especially if you're still paying off debt. Once we get rid of debt, we can start building like a travel sinking fund and, other sinking funds. But for now, you're just on like a strategic, bare bones budget while still enjoying your life and still building your savings and your investments, but getting rid of what's eating your money. Okay, I think that is it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's reset. If you are starting over, you can do this, binge watch my videos, join the Financial Literacy Academy. It is an investment of, I think, 215 Rand. It will be going up end of this month. It was supposed to go up last month, but then I think it's going to go up when I finish the boot camp. So we're currently in a boot camp of building your digital business through content creation. So once that is done and the whole boot camp is in the FLA, because it's such a rich boot camp, the price will go up from $13 to I think like $18. So it will go up by $5. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the FLA if you're in the FLA, and I'll see you on the next video if you're not. And if you want to see some random lives here and there that I share with people on my YouTube, then you can click on the join button. It should be somewhere at the bottom over here, because there's also more packed information. But if you are starting over and you are literally just looking for something that's going to guide you, then my blueprint, and it's not a membership, so it's not recurring, my blueprint to financial freedom is it. Like, I wanted to do another workshop, and then I was like, no, I already have a blueprint that is rich and full of everything you need to know to start over in your financial journey. I'll have it linked below. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.